afternoon. It's just a beautiful day for football here at Cooper Stadium. We've got an artificial turf, and best of all, we've got sunshine. Temperatures right around 55 degrees. We've got two teams that want very badly to make the trip cross town next week to play in Ohio State Stadium, which, of course, today is hosting the Ohio State-Michigan game. But right now, this is the game in town as far as the Generals and the Cavaliers are concerned. And Tony has a little bit of information he'd like to share on that Cavalier team. Tony?
Thank you, John. A little bit about the stadium we're playing in. Now, this is a football stadium, the home of the Columbus Clippers of the AAA division baseball. The field is stretched out along the third base line down through left field. The entire stands is strictly on the one side of the field, which to us would be on the lower part of our screen. Today, Wooster will be against a very formidable foe, Cincinnati Purcell. Cincinnati Purcell is coached by Coach Herb West, who until this year really hasn't had that much success. He's been more or less what we would call mediocre. This year he's got a 12-0 record coming in here. He's got some highlights in his game, some real good ball players. They're led by senior John Case. John Case is Mr. Everything. He's a typical quarterback, 6'3", 185 pounds. Got a shotgun for an arm, and I think this is where their fourth is going to be. It's going to be in passing. They've got a terrific man, another 6'3", Jay Cook. He's already caught some 61 passes for 7 touchdowns and almost 1,000 yards. Strangely enough, this one team doesn't play both of their players both ways, just one man. And the only one that plays both ways is going to be Jay Cook, he's a tight end, but he's a Mr. Everything. On the other end, we all know about Worcester Generals. I don't think anybody really expected them to be here at the beginning of the season, but right now, I'll tell you, they are the pride of the city of Worcester, and I'll tell you, we are the first ones to say, while we weren't believers at the beginning of the season, we sure are now.
Semi-final playoff game.
Well, again, it's a beautiful afternoon. We got two teams that want very badly to get to the state finals. It should be a Super Bowl game. We're going to break briefly, and then we'll be back with more pregame.
George Ryle.
Tonight's game on CATV.
Tackle number 79, Mike Pegram. The left guard is Tri Captain Doug Glasgow. He will wear number 60. The center, number 59, Brian Cinnci. The right guard, number 57, Steve Cooper. The right tackle, Tri Captain Mike McLean, wearing number 78. The split end, number 90, Mitch Fleet. The quarterback, number 15, Matt McCoy. The flankers, number 11, Tri Captain John Murphy. The tailback, number 27, Tony Lee. The fullback is number 43, Brett Bergner. These young men will start the football game for Cincinnati Purcell, Marion on the defense. Defensive left end is Tri Captain Jay Cook, wearing number 82. And left tackle, number 63, Greg Green. The middle guard is number 55, Cliff Coach. The left right tackle, number 77, Vince Conboy. The right end is number 86, David Clark. The linebackers on the left side, number 68, Mark Steiner. On the right side, number 85.
We are just about ready for kickoff. Worcester lost the toss, but Purcell Marion, again, for the second week this has happened, a team has deferred, Tony, so Worcester not only got a choice of the end, but also decided to receive that football as well.
They did, John, and strangely enough, Purcell elected to kick against the wind, which is something I just don't understand. The second half, well, they are going to have to win if they're back here in the second quarter, but in the second half, Worcester will undoubtedly have to kick the ball, and they can take the wind and kick off into the or with the wind.
Well, again, as we mentioned, it's just a great day for football. The sun shining brightly down there on the field. Worcester is dressed in their all-blue uniforms, white helmets. Purcell Marion is in white jerseys with gold pants. They have gold helmets, and they've got red trim throughout, reminiscent of a Southern California uniform, Purcell Marion.
They certainly do.
Worcester is already out on the field. We'll see John Murphy, Mitch Sleek, and John Hayes as the three deep backs. Worcester has brought a fine crowd here this afternoon. Purcell just a little bit smaller, Tony. I'm a little bit surprised.
I'm surprised also, but we've got to admit, and we've got to take our hats off to the Worcester fans, John. They follow this team everywhere this year.
Number 8 on the field for Purcell Marion is their quarterback. He is also their field goal kicker and their punter. His name is John Case, and I know we're going to be calling his name and number quite often this afternoon. He is a fine young athlete at 6'3", 185-pound senior. Got some very impressive statistics, and he's the man we're going to have to watch offensively, but also he will be kicking off here in just a moment. And I look for him to be able to put it down near the end zone.
We might add about this field, John, as we said before, this is a baseball diamond, and we've got some spots here at the right end of the field facing our camera here.
Right down the middle, John Murphy takes it on about the 12. He's across the 20, 25. He's across the 30, close to the 35-yard line.
Right on the 35.
That offensive line for the Generals, it'll hope to open some holes this afternoon at center. Brian Finicum, Steve Cooper, Doug Glasgow at the guards, Mike McLean and Mike Pegram at the tackles. We've got Matt Smith at the tight end. We're going to have Mitch Sleek and John Hayes alternating at a wide receiver. John Murphy at a flanker. We've got McCoy at quarterback. The give is to Tony Lee for about a yard, maybe two. Tony, of course, has been the workhorse all year. He's had over 1,000 yards during the regular season and is now up close to 1,600 yards, including the playoffs.
It is 2nd and 8.
The gain was to call it 2nd and 8. We've got Mitch Sleek split out to the left, split backs this time. And we've got Tony Lee off left tackle. He's across the 40 before he's brought down.
Tony Lee, number 27.
On the stop is number 55, their nose guard, Cliff Pope.
And number 68, Mark Steiner.
It will bring up a 3rd and 5 situation for the Generals.
The Generals have 3rd and 5.
Generals had gone to a double tight end in that situation, and Bo Steiner had come in. Bo goes back out, and now we've got John Murphy wide to the top of your screen, Mitch Sleek wide to the bottom. We go back to the I backfield. It's Birdno. He's very close to the first down. He's going to be short, however.
That was carried by number 43, Brett Birdno.
It'll bring up a 4th and 1, and Wooster will be forced to punt it away.
63 led the defensive charge with an assist from Mark Steiner, number 68.
63, Greg Reed, a defensive tackle, led the defensive charge on that play. It will be Matt Smith, number 18, punting from right around the 30-yard line.
Matt Smith, number 18, is the punter. The deep receiver.
It's a low snap, and Matt is brought down, and the ball is fumbled, and Purcell Marion will score. Touchdown.
That is the one thing we did not want to happen, John. It was a bad snap from Simmons, and I think Matt Smith should have just fell on the ball that time.
Jay Cook, number 82, their tight end, picked it up and goes in for the score. So very quickly, Purcell Marion goes up 6-0, and it is John Case in to try the extra point.
Number 8, John Paul Case will attempt the conversion. Richard Doggett, number 1, will start the placement.
John Case is a soccer-style kicker. It is down, it is up, and it is good. So very quickly, we have Purcell Marion breaking on top, 7-0, as a result of that error on the snap.
And hopefully now the jitters will be gone.
Well, Tony, this is somewhat reminiscent of last week down at Mount Vernon. Of course, the circumstances were a little bit different, but Wooster found themselves down very quickly, 7-0. They were able to take the ball the next time and drive it down for a score. And, of course, we hope that will happen again.
John Hayes, number 44. Mitch Sleek, number
It will be John Case again kicking off. 9:49 remaining here in the first quarter of action. Purcell Marion able to capitalize very quickly. A low snap. Perhaps Matt Smith should have tried to fall on it, but he was going to try and get a kick away, and it was knocked free. This is a tough ball to handle. It's picked up very nicely there by Mitch Sleek. Mitch is knocked down at about the 27, 28-yard line.
returned by number 90, Mitch Sleep, to the 28-yard line.
And Tony, momentum can be a big factor in any game, and I'd have to say Purcell Marion has captured old momentum as a result of that quick score.
They certainly have, and right now the Generals are adding fuel into the fire here. Purcell's not had to move the ball. Generals have done it for him.
First and 10, Wooster.
Matt McCoy will come out and take the snap from Brian Finicum. He's got Birdno and Tony Lee. Tony on a counter, looking for some room, hurdles the line, gets up to close to the 35-yard line.
And
nice
it's
play.
7 yards.
7-yard gain will be second and 3.
Number 68, Vaughn Scott, number 24, made the tackle.
Little misdirection, caught Purcell.
The 35-yard line. Gain of 7 in his second.
Here come Bo Steiner and John Hayes. So again, the Generals going to a double tight end on second down. Hayes goes wide to the top of your screen. It's Bo Steiner at the right end, Matt Smith at the left end. Split backs, and they give it to Birdno, and he's hitting the backfield.
He got back to the line of scrimmage, John.
He might have even lost a half a yard. It'll bring up third and a good 3 yards for the Generals. Murphy coming back in. John Hayes is told to stay in the game.
It is 3rd and 3, Wooster.
Third down, the long 3 from the Generals. The ball just shy of the 35-yard line. McCoy gives it to Tony Lee. Lee got the first down. He was hit hard out there, but he's got the first down.
By Tony Lee, number 27.
So Wooster picks up their initial first down of the game.
Number 86 made the tackle. The ball is at the...
Matt McCoy, the quarterback, trying to be the cheerleader for the Generals. Doing a lot of hand clapping out there. Here comes Mitch Sleek in with the play. This should kind of reinforce the idea to that Generals offensive line that they can move the ball. McCoy bootlegs it, looks back to pass. He's got Birdno wide open. He's got it, and he's crossed the 50 down close to the 45-yard line.
And he's got another first down, John.
Birdno at the 43-yard line.
Brett out of the backfield was wide open on that play.
17 yards.
Matt, as the season has progressed, has become much better at hiding that football. He had plenty of time to throw on that one. They spotted just inside the 45, call it the 44-yard line. 7:38 remaining here in the first quarter of action at Cooper Field, Cooper Stadium in Columbus, Ohio, the state semifinal game. Birdno, and it looked like he slipped on the artificial surface. He got maybe a yard or two.
Greg Reed, number 63, was the defender for Purcell Marion.
They say his knees dropped down right at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, they don't even give him the yard.
No gain. It is 2nd and 10.
We've had some disagreements with the officials throughout the playoffs. It is a 2nd and a long 9. McCoy back to pass. No, he gives it to Tony Lee. Tony's got some blocking out there and fights his way inside the 40 to the close.
About a yard short of a first down, John.
Tony with some nice running, and he had a couple blockers in front of him, too.
Number 40, John Chambers, number 48, Ishmael Gilliam, and David
Wooster showing they can move the ball against this Purcell Marion team, though.
The ball is at the Cavaliers' 35-yard line, 3rd and 1.
It is 3rd and 1 for the Generals. McCoy in this situation, his quarterback sneaked it some. Let's see if he does here. No, he gives it to Birdno. And it all depends on the spot.
Quarterback Matt McCoy, the ball carrier.
Oh, I guess he kept it. I thought he gave it off to Birdno.
Tackled by Cliff Pope, number 55.
And they are about 6 inches short, John.
Very close.
Here you are at the 35. What would you do, John?
Oh, there's no question in my mind that you've got to go for it. They are not even going to measure it. It looked like at first they were going to ask for a measurement. Now they are not. And as Tony indicated, it's less than a yard. Wooster was a little bit confused in the huddle as to who they wanted out there. McCoy, first down.
Hey, he's got it.
First down. Quarterback sneak.
McCoy on the quarterback keeper.
Clock is down to 5:51 remaining here in the first quarter of action. Wooster moving right down the field.
Derek Sanders, number 85, made the tackle for Purcell Marion.
Here comes Mitch Sleek, number 90, one of the Messenger wide receivers, in with the play, and he goes to the bottom of your screen, the left side. John Murphy, top of your screen. 1st and 10 for the Generals. It's Birdno right up the middle. Good yardage. Brett still on his feet. Gang tackled inside the 30.
And he's got what?
4 or 5 yards.
Scott Barnett, number 22, and Mark Steiner, number 68, made the tackle.
Keeping the Purcell Marion defense honest here early by running Birdno a little bit more than we've seen. Here's 2nd down, and again, it looks like Wooster's going to go to the double tight end situation. This is the most I've seen Bo Steiner early in a game with the double tight end.
Well, this is a lineup they haven't shown much this season, John, so maybe we'll catch somebody off guard.
Tony Lee looking for some running room. Tony Lee, oh, one man
and
to
he's
beat.
down to the 15.
Ball carried by number 27, Tony Lee.
One man to beat, and that man was able to upend him. Otherwise, Tony was headed for pay dirt.
That is 14 yards.
The ball is at the Purcell
Worcester
Marion.
putting together a very nice drive here.
Generals have 1st and 10.
Here come Murphy and Sleek back in. Well, now a little confusion again. Murphy's going to stay on the sidelines. It's Sleek to the top of your screen. Worcester stays with the double tight end. Split backs. Now they go to I backs. They give it to Tony Lee off right tackle, and he is really nailed at the line of scrimmage.
Number 27, the ball carrier.
And he got just to the line of scrimmage.
58, the tackler.
Worcester perhaps going to the well once too many times on that off-tackle play. They're running quite a bit today over Steve Cooper and Mike McLean. Of course, McLean in there because Mike Huddleston is out for the season with a knee injury. 2nd and 10. This time it is Tony Lee, and again he stopped cold.
Tony Lee, the ball carrier. Mark Steiner, number 68. Number 77, Vince Lomboy, and number 22.
And it's going to bring up a 3rd down, and I can't help but everybody in the ballpark feels that the Generals will probably go to the air on this one, Tony.
The Generals have 3rd and 10, just inside the 15.
That ball is just a nose inside the 15-yard line. 3rd down 10. Murphy to the top of your screen. Double tight end. I backs. McCoy looking to pass. He's looking, now throws it. It is incomplete in the end zone. Murphy doing
That
what
ball
he had
was
to
short.
do.
Matt McCoy's pass was intended for John Murphy. Broken up by
Had that ball been a little bit overthrown, Murphy might have had a chance to get it, Tony.
No, the ball was underthrown, John.
Yeah, I'm saying if he had overthrown it.
Yeah.
4th and 10.
It'll be Denny Shear coming in to try the field goal. Worcester would like to at least get 3 out of this one.
The spot of the placement will be made by Mitch Sleek.
The spot is on about the 21-yard line. No.
Oh. Topped the ball that time.
Denny Shear's field goal attempt.
The field goal attempt is no good, so Worcester comes away with no points. And while we have this momentary delay in the action, we'll break and be right back.
Our community, businesses, schools, and residents deserve a Spirit Award from the Generals, team, and staff. You've helped us make it so far. Thanks for your support. From me, Brad Warner,
Steve Cooper,
Brian Finicum, and the Generals.
Well, Purcell Marion got tough when they needed to down there on the 15. Now they've got the ball back offensively. This is the first we have seen of them on offense. Of course, they do have 7 points. John Case is the quarterback. We've got I formation, Kennedy and Riley behind him. That is Kennedy in motion. Pass over the middle is complete to the big tight end, Cook.
John Paul Case's pass is complete to number 8.
It was Mitch Sleek bringing him down, but he managed to crawl forward.
That was a combination we were fearing.
Of the Cavaliers.
John Case to
First and
Jay
10
Cook.
for Purcell Marion.
It was enough for the first down. That ball spotted right at the 35-yard line. So they picked up 15. This time it's a flanker back in motion. And the give is to Kennedy, nothing doing. Tony Lee was there along with Steve Cooper and also Mike McLean.
John Kennedy. Mike McLean, number
Kennedy is number 44. He has good speed, 4.5 speed. He's 5'10", 165-pound senior.
The battle's at the 34.
No gain on the play. Call it 2nd and 10. Two wide receivers to the top of your screen. Sleek and Hayes are on them. They're discussing how they want to cover them. Long count. Wide pitch. There's Kennedy to the outside, and he got across the 40 to about the 42. It is Doug Glasgow out there on the tackle. It is going to be 3rd and about 3. We've got the Purcell Marion band right below us. Oh, is that Wooster? Third down and 3. This is a big play. Wooster'd like to hold, get that ball back. I-backs behind Case, another long count. Case looking, throws it, complete to Cook. First down. He's still on his feet. Nice.
Fine play by John Case. And a great catch by Jay Cook.
That was a well-conceived play on 3rd down. So Purcell Marion picks up a first down. The spot on that ball is up close to the 50-yard line. Motion, split backs, and there is Case rolling to the left, throwing downfield, incomplete. He overthrew his intended receiver, John Kennedy, who was well covered out in the flat.
Matt Smith was the defender for
And of course, for a right-handed quarterback, rolling left is always a tough maneuver, Tony.
The man was open, John. He just got the ball out too far.
It does bring up, of course, a 2nd and 10 situation for the Cavaliers. Cavaliers white jerseys, red numbers, gold pants, gold helmets. 2nd and 10. Only one man behind the quarterback Case. That's their fullback. Little pass, incomplete. I think the quarterback and his receiver got mixed up. That ball was just
we
thrown
have
to
a flag
spot.
down. I believe it's going to be against Purcell, John.
Okay, we'll wait and see.
Snyder was the defender for Wooster. There are penalty markers on the play.
Yes, it is. As Tony indicated, going to go against Marion Purcell, or Purcell Marion, rather. They're talking with Doug Glasgow. Let's see if the Generals do decide to take the penalty and make it 2nd and 15 or go for 3rd and 10. Tony, I'm not sure which way I'd take it here. I think I might go 3rd and 10. Well, the Generals decide to make it 2nd and 15 as they take it back to the 45-yard line.
Purcell Marion violation, 5 yards, illegal motion.
Illegal motion.
They call motion.
Spotted at the Cavaliers' 45-yard line, 2nd and 15.
Worcester with that extra defensive back in there. Excuse me, it's John Hayes is out and Doug Snyder's in. So Worcester playing it straight at this point. There's Case going back to pass. He's hit as he throws it. It's intercepted by Tony Lee. Tony Lee comes back to the 45-yard line.
Fine play by Tony Lee there. I honestly, John, I thought for sure that Tony Lee would be crashing through there. Instead, he stayed back and picked it off perfectly.
So Worcester gets the ball back and gets their first break of the game. Of course, Purcell Marions gave them a touchdown. Low snap from center that Matt Smith could not handle. Jay Cook picked it up and ran it in, but now Worcester's got good field position. We've got 16 seconds left on the clock. This should be the last play of the first quarter. I-backs behind McCoy. McCoy checking with his backfield. And he's going to give it to Tony Lee, looking off left tackle. Tony back into the middle for about a yard or two.
Got 1 yard, John.
It looked like there might have been a mix-up between McCoy and Tony Lee. They just didn't look like they were ready for it. But now at the end of the first quarter, and our score, Purcell Marion 7, Wooster nothing. We'll break and be right back.
Tonight's game on CATV9 is being brought to you by the Web Atlas Company, Heating and Cooling at 694 Winkler Drive, your total comfort carrier dealer, saluting the Wooster Generals. Whitaker Myers Insurance in Wooster is dedicated to the philosophy of the best coverage and the best companies at the lowest fair price for that coverage. Call 345-5000. Underwood Lincoln Mercury Dodge, 2626 Cleveland Road, Wooster, is proud of the Wooster Generals football team. 1 Hour Cleaners in the College Hill Shopping Center is open Monday through Friday, 8 to 8, Saturday, 8 to 6, offering 1 hour service daily until 4, family owned since 1969. At Dick Kinder Realty, they support the Wooster Generals in their bid for number 1. For your real estate needs, call Dick Kinder at 264-8133. Wooster Appliance Center, 149 North Walnut Street, is this area's appliance and video specialist, and they congratulate the Wooster Generals. Retzler's True Value Hardware, 132 North Walnut Street, has a full line of hardware, and they are more than ready to meet all your Christmas needs. Amster Shoes, the finest in family footwear, serving Wayne County for over 67 years, located in downtown Wooster. First Federal Savings and Loan has 2 offices in Wooster, 135 East Liberty and 1812 Cleveland Road. They turn houses into homes at First Federal. The Wooster Glass Company, 419 South Market Street, Wooster, specializing in auto glass plus plate glass and more. Call 262-8986, serving the area since 1947. Call on Central Rental for all your lawn and garden, construction, table, chairs, and party needs. If they don't rent it, they'll tell you where to find it. Call 263-1000.
Hi, I'm Tom Lyons, Performance Pontiac Olds GMC trucks. Everywhere I go, it's what about those Wooster Generals? Thanks a lot, guys.
Steiner Insurance, 201 East Liberty, is proud of Wooster, especially the Wooster Generals, and wish them continued success. At Mott's Decorating, 4188 Cleveland Road, Wooster, there's no gimmicks, no giveaways, just honest savings every day of the year. Remember, Mott's Decorating, Wooster. The Coachie House has been proud to back Wooster High year in and year out, and sees the Fighting Generals as the best in high school athletics. From Joe, Jeanette, Steve, and Karen, and everyone at the Coachie House, congratulations, Generals. AC Electrical and Telephone, 348 East Liberty in downtown Wooster, is the specialist in designing your next phone or electrical system. Call AC at 264-8068. Have your eye on a new car or truck? Ask your dealer for low-cost bank financing from the bank that knows you better, Wayne County National Bank, an equal opportunity lender, member FDIC. Art Bucher Buick Cadillac, 405 East Liberty in downtown Wooster, has the car you've been looking for. Call them at 264-3030. Ettinger's Furniture in the Heck Shopping Plaza for furniture, carpeting, and more. And right now, save 50% on sculptured carpet, available in 5 colors. That's all at Ettinger's Furniture. Worcester's oldest tire dealer, 300 Tire Service at the corner of South and Buckeye Streets, can winterize your car with tires and more. Call 300 at 262-6800. Clear Picture Incorporated congratulates the Wooster Generals on a fine season, both the football team and the bands. Clear Picture is proud of the Wooster area and the Wooster Generals.
We, the Wooster Generals, feel that our regional championship is not only a trophy for our team, but also our community. Wooster, you've got class. From me, Brett Birdnow,
Richard Withrow,
and Doug Glasgow.
Thanks to our local merchants, you are watching this game on Channel 9. Be there.
There you have a shot of the crowd here today, and you can see that the blue and gold is well represented. Wooster bringing a fine contingency down from Wooster, Ohio, down here to Columbus. The officials taking a little bit extra time out on the field to get that ball marked properly. Wooster, the recipient of a John Case interception that time. Tony, are you surprised to see Purcell Marion put the ball up as much as they are with the 7-0 lead, or you think that's just part of their makeup?
No, John, I think they are going to take whatever they can get, and I don't think you're going to run too much against Worcester's line. And
There's Tony Lee on a sweep. He cuts to the outside. He gets some good blocks, and he's inside the 30 down to the 27-yard line.
Tony Lee, number 27. Tackled by Ishmael Gilliam, number 48, and Scott Barnett, number 22.
Tony running just maybe a hair slower than we've seen him, and I think part of that is this artificial turf is a little bit different than we saw at the Rubber Bowl. Tony and I had a chance to get out there earlier this morning and walk on it, and it can be just a hair slick. I think you've got to worry a little bit about balance first, Tony.
And it also is a little on the wet side, John.
It is 1st and 10 for the Generals on the 26-yard line. There's Brett Birdno. Birdno banging down to about the 22.
Number 43, Brett Birdno, ball carrier.
So Brett picks up close to 5. It'll be 2nd and 5. Wooster was stopped on 3 plays in their first drive, but on their second possession drove down to the 15 before they tried a field goal, which did not work. So here in their third possession, they're again marching down the field against this Purcell Marion defensive unit, who sports only one man who's going both ways. That's one of the defensive ends, Jay Cook. The pitch is to Tony Lee to the outside. He's sweeping. He's down very close
first down.
to
He's
first
got
down.
it.
All depends on the spot.
Well, John, that ball was out past that marker.
Number 24, Ron Scott, made the tackle.
We'll wait for the, yes,
That
the
is first
official
down.
says first down.
First down, Wooster.
So Worcester's on the 16 this time. And certainly this has got to make you feel good if you're a Worcester fan that we are able to move the ball on this defense.
16-yard line.
Sure hate to have given up that 7 points early, but let's hope on this drive we can get it right back and start anew. 10:26 here in the second quarter of action. John Hevlin, Tony Catanzarite, Cooper Stadium. This time it is Tony Lee, nothing doing. They bunch up in the middle.
He got 1 yard, John.
It was a host of Cavalier tacklers all over Tony. Here comes Mitch Sleek in with the play. Mitch, as this year so many of the Generals have had to do, going both ways. Here comes John Murphy off, so I'm looking to see, yes, we do have a double tight end situation. High backs. The give is to, no, McCoy's got it on a sweep. He cuts it back. He's inside the 10 at the 8-yard line. Matt McCoy. It's going to be 3rd and 2. That play has been successful for the last few years. We've seen Tom Rogers run it. Before that, it used to be Mike McCreary. This year, it's Matt McCoy. And now it looks like Wooster wants timeout. I'm just a little bit surprised, Tony, when you got the momentum. Apparently, there must have been a mix-up.
Must have been. Coach Mack wants to talk to him. But they are having a very well-developed, sustained drive here, John, and that's what you want. If you can keep the ball out of the Purcell Cavaliers' hands, this is going to be to our advantage. But we've got to put that ball in the end zone. We missed a terrific scoring opportunity there in the first quarter.
Yes. Well, Tony, I wonder here, with 3rd and 2, if they were not to get 2 yards, whether or not they wouldn't want to try for the first down rather than trying for the field goal if it was, say, a 4th and 1 situation. Maybe it's needless speculation. Let's hope it is. Let's hope that they can get the first down. But I don't know if you want to settle for 3 if you can't get the first down. We are in Columbus, Ohio. We're at Cooper Stadium. We are playing on AstroTurf today. It's a temperature right around 50 to 55. A little bit of a wind gusting on and off. Here we've got a big 3rd down play for the Generals with the ball on the 8-yard line. They need to get to the 6 for a first down. It's a 3rd and 2. Wooster has gone to the full house backfield.
Yeah.
They give it to Birdno. He is short. Brett Birdno didn't get anything, as a matter of fact.
Number 43, Brett Birdno, the ball carrier.
And now Wooster is going to be faced with a situation where it is a 4th and 2, and it does not look like Coach McFarland is sending in the field goal unit. Taking quite a while to carry the play in. 4th and 2.
Gonna have to get that play in there.
Here comes Corey Hupp, a messenger guard, in with the play. Steve Cooper coming out. Corey Hupp is a very interesting situation. He sustained a broken ankle about halfway through the station. His season is now back. 4th down, full house. McCoy on the keeper. He has got the first down, I believe. Matt McCoy, let's see.
If the ball goes where the official on this side marked it, it will be a first down.
It is very close. This is very important for the Generals. Very important first spot. I don't know. I just don't know.
It is.
It is a first down for the Generals.
First down, the Wooster.
Matt McCoy, only a junior. What a gutsy play.
From the 6-yard line.
Of course, Coach McFarland probably called that play, but Matt had to carry it out, and he did. Put his head down and got the first down. Here comes Cooper back into the ball game, but it sure is great to see Corey Hupp able to get back to play some playoff football. 1st and 10 for the 6-yard line for the Generals. They are in the full house. Double tight end. The give is to Tony Lee. He bangs in. Oh, very close. Down close to the 2, maybe the 1.
He's right on the 1-yard line, John. I don't know if the camera caught that, but Tony was stopped and was trying to reach the ball over the goal line, because if the ball would have been over the goal line in his possession, it would have been a touchdown.
You can see where the officials spotted. They gave him everything he had on that one. That was a good spot by the officials. I want to give him credit when credit is due. 2nd down for the Generals. 7:25 left in this first half. Again, the full house. McCoy, Tony Lee, touchdown Wooster, 7-6. There are no flags, so now we've got the extra point to come. And Tony, again, I think we have to be very impressed the way Wooster is moving the football on this team.
If Wooster can slow up their passing game, John, I think we're going to have a real good ball game.
We've got to keep it away from their offense. Here comes Denny Shear. Denny has done well all year. There is a snap. There is a kick. We've got a new ball game with 7:18 on the clock as Wooster ties the score at 7 apiece. Denny Shear with that extra point. And so with 7:18 on the clock and our score 7-7, we'll break and be right back with the kickoff.
The Wooster Generals and us, Dan Edwards,
Matt Smith, and Chris Murray,
would like to thank the community for the show of support we've been experiencing.
we hope you are enjoying the game.
Thanks to the generous support of 20 local merchants, you are watching the game on Channel 9.
Tonight's game on CATV9 is being brought to you by the Web Atlas Company, Heating and Cooling at 694 Winkler Drive, your Total Comfort Carrier dealer, saluting the Wooster Generals. Whitaker Myers Insurance in Wooster is dedicated to the philosophy of the best coverage and the best companies at the lowest fair price for that coverage. Call 345-5000. Underwood Lincoln Mercury Dodge, 2626 Cleveland Road, Worcester, is proud of the Wooster Generals football team. 1 Hour Cleaners in the College Hill Shopping Center is open Monday through Friday, 8 to 8, Saturday, 8 to 6, offering 1 hour service daily until 4, family owned since 1969. At Dick Kinder Realty, they support the Worcester Generals in their bid for number 1. For your real estate needs, call Dick Kinder at 264-8133. Worcester Appliance Center, 149 North Walnut Street, is this area's appliance and video specialist, and they congratulate the Worcester Generals. Retzler's True Value Hardware, 132 North Walnut Street, has a full line of hardware, and they are more than ready to meet all your Christmas needs. Amster Shoes, the finest in family footwear, serving Wayne County for over 67 years, located in downtown Worcester. First Federal Savings and Loan has two offices in Worcester, 135 East Liberty and 1812 Cleveland Road. They turn houses into homes at First Federal. The Wooster Glass Company, 419 South Market Street, Worcester, specializing in auto glass plus plate glass and more. Call 262-8986, serving the area since 1947. Call on Central Rental for all your lawn and garden, construction, table, chairs, and party needs. If they don't rent it, they'll tell you where to find it. Call 263-1000.
Hi, I'm Tom Lyons, Performance Pontiac Olds GMC Trucks. Everywhere I go, it's what about those Wooster Generals? Thanks a lot, guys.
Steiner Insurance, 201 East Liberty, is proud of Worcester, especially the Worcester Generals, and wish them continued success. At Mott's Decorating, 4188 Cleveland Road, Worcester, there's no gimmicks, no giveaways, just honest savings every day of the year. Remember, Mott's Decorating, Worcester. The Coachie House has been proud to back Worcester High year in and year out and sees the Fighting Generals as the best in high school athletics. From Joe, Jeanette, Steve, and Karen, and everyone at the Coachie House, congratulations, Generals. AC Electrical and Telephone, 348 East Liberty in downtown Worcester, is the specialist in designing your next phone or electrical system. Call AC at 264-8068. Have your eye on a new car or truck? Ask your dealer for low-cost bank financing from the bank that knows you better, Wayne County National Bank, an equal opportunity lender, member FDIC. Art Bucher Buick Cadillac, 405 East Liberty in downtown Worcester, has the car you've been looking for. Call them at 264-3030. Eddinger's Furniture in the Heck Shopping Plaza for furniture, carpeting, and more. And right now, save 50% on sculptured carpet, available in 5 colors. That's all at Eddinger's Furniture. Worcester's oldest tire dealer, 300 Tire Service at the corner of South and Buckeye Streets, can winterize your car with tires and more. Call 300 at 262-6800. Clear Picture Incorporated congratulates the Worcester Generals on a fine season, both the football team and the bands. Clear Picture is proud of the Worcester area and the Worcester Generals.
There is Worcester's kickoff unit. Denny Shear had a talk with Coach McFarland on the sideline, probably telling him exactly where or to who he wanted to have him try and kick that ball. Of course, he will mark that tee right at the 40-yard line. Worcester showing a lot of guts and courage and poise as they have all year, giving up a quick, easy touchdown on a fumble of a punt. But they came right back, marched down the field, and tied the ball game at 7 apiece. And Purcell Marion knows they're in for a game right now.
And John, this is a very tough defense. They've shut out 5 of their 12 opponents. 2 others have scored, 3 others have only scored, 4 others have scored 1 time.
We're now waiting for the whistle. Here is Denny Shear's kick. It's a squib kick type. It is picked up on the 30. Run to the outside, and going out close to the 40-yard line is number 32. That is Kevin Jackson. So Purcell Marion does get pretty good field position out close to the 40-yard line. The nose of the ball just shy of the 40. First and 10. 7:13 left here in the first half. Splitbacks this time behind Case. Got a man in motion to the top of your screen from the wing. Long count, pitches it to Kennedy on the outside. He tries to cut back, and he is knocked down right at the 40 by Brad Warner along with John Murphy.
John Murphy played that beautifully. He played off his man. He forced the man inside and came after him. And by that time, he had help from number 21, Brad Warner.
Tony, I don't want to be unkind to John Kennedy, their tailback, but he doesn't have the speed that the Generals have seen in Jackson like a week ago, or a Bradley of Orville.
No, definitely not. At least he hasn't shown it yet, John.
Okay, 2nd down and 10. There was actually no gain on that play. Again, the splitbacks behind Case. Case keeping it, rolling to the top of your screen, throws incomplete. Nice hit by Matt Smith. It was intended for Cook. And he dropped it. He dropped it.
And John Case, I'll tell you, has really fooled everybody on that.
Well, he probably could have run for some yardage had he decided to do so.
He probably could have.
But it does bring up a 3rd and 10 situation. Clock is stopped on that incompletion with 6:26 here in the first half. Cooper Stadium, Columbus, Ohio. This time we have a wide receiver to the top, 2 to the bottom of your screen, and also a wingback as well. A lot of potential receivers. Case with a long count. Drops back, short pass incomplete. Out in the flat, he overthrew his receiver. And that was one of those pick plays.
That was going to be a screen pass, John.
The short receiver went down and picked our receiver. It was a screen to one of their wide receivers, number 1. But they are going to be forced to punt. And we will see Case do the punting.
Number 22, Scott Barnett, is in
Murphy and Sleek dropping way back down to their own 25. Worcester, of course, will be guarding against any kind of a fake. Excuse me, I thought it was Case. It was not. It was number 22. Mitch Sleek pulls it in, makes a nice move to the outside, and gets back to the 31-yard line.
Number 90, Mitch Sleek fields.
I don't understand why Case didn't punt that ball. It was number 22.
We have Case listed as the kicker, but not as the punter, John.
Scott
At least
Barnett.
not in mine.
Oh, I watched Case punt during the warm-ups today.
1st and 10, Wooster.
So Wooster gets the ball back, 6:12 remaining here in the first half. Wooster has used the pass sparingly. They did complete one to Birdno out in the flats early. But if you don't have to, why put it up, huh? That ground game keeps the clock going and eats up the yardage as well. There is Tony Lee.
And he got about 3 on that.
By number 27, Tony Lee. Scott Barnett was the defender for the Cavaliers.
It will bring up what? I'd say 2nd and a short 7 yards.
And John, unofficially, we've already got Tony Lee in this first half for 78 yards.
He has been a workhorse.
And we are on the 2 tight end offense again, John.
This time it is Birdno. Birdno breaking free. Gets up close to the 45-yard line.
And that time they caught Purcell crashing through there, and the safety went right up the hole.
You love to see it. It's a first down for the Generals. Worcester looking very good here now. 7-7 our score. And, of course, Purcell Marion getting theirs on kind of a cheap touchdown. It was a recovery of a fumble by Matt Smith on a punt. Again, it is split backs. Worcester's gone mostly from the eye. This has got to bother Purcell Marion a little bit. Tony Lee trying to sweep the left end, nothing doing.
And he lost a yard that time.
So it'll be a 2nd and a long 10 for the Generals.
Lomboy, number 77.
This is a pretty good size defense that Purcell Marion has. But again, Worcester has seen so much quickness the last few weeks.
They are a quick defensive team, as you said, John.
Worcester back to the I backfield. Murphy split to the top of your screen. There's the pitch. Tony Lee trying to get to the outside. Now cuts it back. Good yardage. Tony Lee across the 50-yard line.
And
Tony Lee, the ball carrier. Jay Cook, number 82, on the tackle for the Cavaliers.
Tony probably not only saved the loss, but was able to pick up about 4 more yards.
6 yards.
5 yards.
6 yards that time, John.
This is 6 as they spot it. You're right. But it does leave a 3rd and good 4 yards. Worcester again has used the pass fairly sparingly. Here's Hayes, flanked way wide, double tight end situation. McCoy to Tony Lee. No, it's McCoy around the end. Matt lumbering down there's got the first down.
And he's got it.
Inside the 35-yard line.
Got about 13 yards.
A big first down as Worcester is able to eat up the clock and the yardage. 3:25 on that clock. Certainly Worcester'd like to take it in and get another score before half. Here's Mitch Sleek coming to the bottom of your screen this time. Bo Steiner in as the second tight end along with Matt Smith. I-backs behind McCoy. There's Tony Lee sweeping to the left. Tony got a couple.
Tony Lee, the ball carrier.
It'll bring up a second and 8 situation. That ball is, let's see, on the 30, about the 31-yard line.
Second and 7, General.
That clock down to 2:40, and of course it keeps running. Wooster should have enough time to get it into the end zone, but we might want to try a pass or two. Murphy to the bottom of your screen, Hayes to the top. Murphy draws a single coverage. They give it to John Murphy, trying on a end around or flank around, and he's hit at the line of scrimmage. No gain.
Murphy, the ball carrier. Guy Barrett, Terry, number 52.
Might have developed a little bit too slow, Tony, but of course it does set up a pass play, doesn't it?
The defense sure stayed at home that time, too.
Wooster has 3rd and 7.
If you'll recall last week down at Mount Vernon against Columbus Mifflin, John Murphy from that position with a pitch like that did throw a pass. In fact, I think they used the play twice in the game. So Wooster could be setting up something. It's a draw play to Tony Lee. Oh! Tony is shy of the first down on about the 27. Wooster needs to get to the 24. So it's 4th and 3 yards. And let's see what the Generals have in their bag of tricks. 1:30 left on the clock.
The ball's at the Purcell Marion 27-yard line. Wooster has 4th and 3.
4th down, 3 yards. I backfield. Murphy to the bottom of your screen. Hayes to the top. The pitch is to Tony Lee. He stumbled in the backfield. He's still on his feet. He's going to be shy.
He's short. He's short about a yard.
About a yard short. Boy, Tony gave
good recovery on that.
effort, though. Almost fell down in the backfield. Oh, they're going to call for the change. They really gave Wooster a good spot on that. I think it's still going to be short, though.
I think it's going to be short, 6 inches.
Officials were quite generous, but I think the Generals are still going to be short. Yes, they are.
Cincinnati Purcell Marion takes over on down.
So with 1:08 on the clock, Purcell Marion will get the ball back. And Tony, this is when you got to worry, because this is when Case will, I'm sure, air out the football.
And I believe Coach Mack will have his nickel defense in there now.
They've got Hayes, Murphy, Sleek, and Snyder as well. Yes, there are 4 Wooster defensive backs in there. Down to 49 seconds. Case dropping back to pass. He is nailed as he lets this one fly. Murphy intercepts out of bounds.
Out of bounds.
Out of bounds. And Case paid the price. McLean knocked him down as he let that one go.
Jay Cook defending for Wooster was number 11, John Murphy.
Tony, if there were any doubt in the minds of any Wooster fans or any football fans within the state of Ohio, I think the answer is that Wooster can play with any team in the state. Many felt that Purcell was the best team, Division I or II. And, of course, Wooster has played right with them and perhaps maybe even outclassed them a little bit in this first half.
Well, John, they've had some very formidable foes during their schedule. Fairfield, which is one of the semifinalists.
Kennedy fumbles the ball. Let's see if they whistle it dead. There's the whistle right now. It should be Wooster's ball. Let's see. Let's see if they give it to Wooster. Yes, Wooster gets the ball with 36 seconds. The ball's on the 31-yard line. It was a late whistle, but nobody'd blown it, and the ball bounced free. Wooster with one last chance. The clock's running. Let's see if the Generals are going to call time. The clock's running. It's at 30 seconds.
Credited with the fumble recovery for Wooster.
Wooster needs to get off some plays. Down to 22 seconds. And they give it to Birdno up the middle. Wooster needs to call time. He got 5 yards. It's 12 seconds.
Call time with 12 seconds. John, they've got time for one pass, and if they don't make it, they can still try a field goal.
We need, though, Tony, I would have to say, to be in Denny Shear's range, a little bit more yardage.
You're right, John. But the way Worcester's been playing these past few weeks, John, I think they can just about do anything.
Well, since we're up here and it's only you and I don't know if we try and fake him out with a full house backfield and let Murphy sneak out or not, but it has worked on 2 successive weeks in the playoffs. But, of course, you got to figure Purcell Marion's done some pretty heavy scouting. It's still, as Coach Mack pointed out to me on Coach's Corner, it is still a difficult pass to cover.
It certainly is, especially when you have that dive up the middle and everybody's trying to bunch in there.
John Murphy, of course, with the good hands, has made the reception on 2 successive weeks in playoff games.
You know, and strangely enough, John, John Murphy did not catch a touchdown pass offensively until we got in the playoffs. He had scored, but always on defensive plays or on punt or kickoffs.
I guess you have to say that young man saved his best for the playoffs.
Well, maybe Coach Mack was saving him
that
for a
could be
secret
too.
weapon when we did get into the playoffs.
Well, Wooster's not in the full house. Let's see if they go to the tight end, Matt Smith.
I would look for a pass, though.
It is going to be a pass play. No, Matt McCoy is sacked.
Well, number 55 for Purcell. That's Cliff Pope. Just got a hand on him.
He was sacked by
Tony Lee had snuck out of the backfield and was a receiver downfield.
That is the Generals' third.
Worcester uses their last timeout with 6 seconds. This should be, after the timeout, the last play of the first half. And I'm sure Wooster will throw it into the end zone, Tony.
Third and 12.
If Matt has the time. Well, I shouldn't say that. We might try a screen pass.
Maybe a screen would be good at this point. The defensive backs will be backing up not to allow the bomb. The linemen will be rushing, try to keep the ball from getting off.
Well, of course, Brett Birdno has good speed as well as Tony Lee, so if you figure they might be keying on Tony, maybe you could go to Brett Birdno. Let's wait and see. And, of course, Matt Smith has made some big catches, as has John Murphy. Coach McFarland now trotting off the field. He has talked with his offensive unit. We have 6 seconds remaining here in the first half. It is a 7-7 tie. McCoy has I-backs behind him. He's got Murphy and to the top and Sleek to the bottom. Drops straight back to pass. It is a pass intended for Murphy. He goes! Oh, John Murphy almost caught it after it was tipped. Oh, was that close? That is the first half. So at the end of one, our score is Wooster 7, Purcell Marion 7.
With the exception of that one fumble on that punt, the Generals have really played a great ball game.
Cincinnati, Purcell, Marion, and Wooster.
Tonight's game on CATV9 is being brought to you by the Web Atlas Company, Heating and Cooling at 694 Winkler Drive, your total comfort carrier dealer, saluting the Wooster Generals. Whitaker Myers Insurance in Wooster is dedicated to the philosophy of the best coverage and the best companies at the lowest fair price for that coverage. Call 345-5000. Underwood Lincoln Mercury Dodge, 2626 Cleveland Road, Wooster, is proud of the Wooster Generals football team. 1 Hour Cleaners in the College Hill Shopping Center is open Monday through Friday, 8 to 8, Saturday, 8 to 6, offering 1 hour service daily until 4, family owned since 1969. At Dick Kinder Realty, they support the Wooster Generals in their bid for number 1. For your real estate needs, call Dick Kinder at 264-8133. Worcester Appliance Center, 149 North Walnut Street, is this area's appliance and video specialist, and they congratulate the Worcester Generals. Retzler's True Value Hardware, 132 North Walnut Street, has a full line of hardware, and they are more than ready to meet all your Christmas needs. Amster Shoes, the finest in family footwear, serving Wayne County for over 67 years, located in downtown Worcester. First Federal Savings and Loan has 2 offices in Worcester, 135 East Liberty and 1812 Cleveland Road. They turn houses into homes at First Federal. The Worcester Glass Company, 419 South Market Street, Worcester, specializing in auto glass plus plate glass and more. Call 262-8986, serving the area since 1947. Call on Central Rental for all your lawn and garden, construction, table, chairs, and party needs. If they don't rent it, they'll tell you where to find it. Call 263-1000.
Hi, I'm Tom Lyons, Performance Pontiac Olds GMC Trucks. Everywhere I go, it's what about those Wooster Generals? Thanks a lot, guys.
Steiner Insurance, 201 East Liberty, is proud of Wooster, especially the Wooster Generals, and wish them continued success. At Mott's Decorating, 4188 Cleveland Road, Wooster, there's no gimmicks, no giveaways, just honest savings every day of the year. Remember, Mott's Decorating, Wooster. The Coachie House has been proud to back Wooster High year in and year out and sees the Fighting Generals as the best in high school athletics. From Joe, Jeanette, Steve, and Karen, and everyone at the Coachie House, congratulations, Generals. AC Electrical and Telephone, 348 East Liberty in downtown Worcester, is the specialist in designing your next phone or electrical system. Call AC at 264-8068. Have your eye on a new car or truck? Ask your dealer for low-cost bank financing from the bank that knows you better, Wayne County National Bank, an equal opportunity lender, member FDIC. Art Bucher, Buick Cadillac, 405 East Liberty in downtown Worcester, has the car you've been looking for. Call them at 264-3030. Ettinger's Furniture in the Heck Shopping Plaza for furniture, carpeting, and more. And right now, save 50% on sculptured carpet, available in 5 colors. That's all at Ettinger's Furniture. Worcester's oldest tire dealer, 300 Tire Service at the corner of South and Buckeye Streets, can winterize your car with tires and more. Call 300 at 262-6800. Clear Picture Incorporated congratulates the Wooster Generals on a fine season, both the football team and the bands. Clear Picture is proud of the Worcester area and the Wooster Generals.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Worcester High School Marching Band. As trophy fields expressed in the 1960s.
Mitch Sleek, and the Worcester Generals. Thanks to the support of local merchants, you are seeing this on Channel 9.
Now, wasn't that fun?
We are just about ready for the second half of action. Both teams are back out on the field. Tony, you picked up some first half stats for us.
Yes, John, and as far as the stats concerned, although the score is 7-7, the stats are all Worcester. 15 yards, and they had 2 completions out of 7 attempts for 21 yards and passing for a total net of 38 yards offense. Worcester, on the other hand, had 153 yards total. We had 9 first downs. And as far as the rushing, Lee, 91 yards already in 20 carries this first half. So Lee has been doing the most of the work for us.
Well, it was a good first half. Of course, Worcester giving up that touchdown very early gave Purcell their 7 points. Worcester earning theirs as they drove down and scored in the second quarter. Worcester now to begin the second half will be kicking from the south to the north. Denny Shear, number 45, getting ready for the kickoff. There is the whistle. There is a good kick. Wow, that was down to about the 10. Run back right up the middle. And that ball carrier didn't want to go down. He fumbled the ball.
And Worcester's got it. Number 30. That's newcomer.
It was number 1, Richard Doggett, who fumbled, and it was number 30, Mark Newcomer, who grabs it for the Generals. So Worcester gets a break early on the 31-yard line, 1st and 10.
Marion 36, 1st and 10.
It is McCoy at quarterback. He's got Birdno and Lee behind him. The Generals did a nice job early. There's Lee to the outside, and he is dragged down after a gain of about a yard. Wooster was able to move the ball on the ground in the first half, as would be indicated by Tony Lee's 91 yards. They, unofficially, I only remember one pass. That was to Birdno. There might have been
Well, we had another, 2 incompleted passes.
Okay. The gain was 1, call it 2nd and 9. Again, it is Lee and Birdno behind McCoy. They give it to Birdno. Brett Birdno up the middle. Good yardage down to the 20-yard line,
John.
When they begin to key on Tony Lee, you give it to Brett Birdno, and he has been a bread and butter back.
24, Scott Barnett, number 22.
That, of course, is good for a first down for the Generals.
23-yard line of the Cavaliers.
They are saying 23. It's between the 22 and the 23-yard line. 1st and 10. Murphy to the top of your screen. Mitch Sleek to the bottom. Then there's a fumble. That ball still rolling free. Worcester's got it. Back on the 30.
And that's something, John, that the Generals have to stay away from. They can't afford that kind of mistake. We made one mistake the first quarter, and that gave us a tie score.
You're right. Certainly very pleased to see a blue jersey. It was number 18, Matt Smith, that hustled back to fall on that. It looked to me like one of the defensive Purcell Marion players actually cuffed that ball, knocking it back. But it was the Generals who were able to come up with it. It brings up a 2nd and 17 situation. We've got Murphy to the top of your screen. It is McCoy throwing in the corner of the end zone for Hayes. He can't get it.
Hayes had it and let it go through his arms.
John
In all
Hayes.
fairness to John, he had the sun right in his eyes. But
John Hayes. Ron Scott was the defender for Purcell Marion. At the 30-yard line.
I guess you can never say what ought to have been, but that was very close to completion. Very close. Of course, now it's 3rd and 17, and Wooster needs a big play just to pick up the first down. The band goes with a theme song for the playoffs, We Will Rock You. Wooster with a golden opportunity. They need to capitalize here. McCoy throws short for Matt Smith. He's got it over the middle, down, at the 15?
Got him down about the 14, 16-yard line.
Still short of the first down, however.
It's still short. I think we'll see a try field goal now.
The ball is at the...
Denny Shear had tried a field goal in the first quarter, which was flat. It was short, but he'll get a second chance, and of course he did convert on the extra point.
Denny Shear lines up in field goal formation. Mitch Sleek, number 9.
Denny has been pretty consistent throughout the year. There's a snap. There's the kick. It is good. Wooster goes on top.
And Shear comes through when he has to.
The score is Wooster
10-7. Wooster breaking on top here early in the third quarter on that Denny Shear field goal. And this good Wooster crowd really lets them know how much they appreciate what the blue and gold is doing for them out there on the field. By the way, we here at Cable TV 9 are so appreciative to the sponsors, the Wooster merchants of the city, that I'm sure you will be told their names. But Tony and I and all of us here at Clear Picture are just so excited about the opportunity to be here to bring you this game today. Thank you very much for caring, Merchants of Wooster. 9-12, still remaining here in the third quarter of action. Denny Shear gets ready to tee it up, and you can bet that Purcell Marion is not going to quit. We've made him angry now. But let's see if the nasty defense can hold. Another nice kick by Denny Shear down to the 5. Their back who fumbled last time gets back up, and he's nailed.
number 1 returns Denny Shear's kickoff to
Jim Botero, number 42, one of the tacklers. Also in on that stop is number 64, Kurt Henshaw.
number 64, Kurt Henshaw.
So Worcester's defense will be called upon to stop a very potent Purcell Marion offense.
29-yard line, 1st and 10.
8:52 as Purcell Marion takes over. Case is the quarterback. He's got split backs behind him. Long count. They seem to like to go on that long count. This is the fullback.
It's a good run.
George Riley. He's a load at 235.
Tackled by Matt Smith.
He got 3 yards.
Got 7 yards on that.
Oh, excuse me. Yes, he got 7. Second and 3. George Riley, 6 foot 235. There's a quick handoff. Nothing doing to Kennedy. John Kennedy is brought down, and McLean came up with a ball. McLean saying, "Hey, I've got the football," but they're saying he was
took
down.
it right out of his hand.
McLean finally gives it up to the official. Some of the Wooster crowd booing.
Doug Blasco, there was no gain. The yard line remains the 38. It is 3rd and 2.
There was no gain, so call it 3rd and 2, a big play. Let's see if the Purcell Marion goes to the air. They're a team that can do just about anything. Case throws it incomplete.
And
Knocked
Matt
down
Smith
by
put
Matt
his hand
Smith.
in there just at the right time.
John Charles Case pass was intended for Chris Case. Broken up by Matt Smith.
That was an attempt to go case to case.
There was.
Have 4th and 2.
But pardon the pun, that was a case that the Generals were ready. And they will drop back Mitch Leak and
Scott
John
Townend,
Murphy.
22 is the Purcell Marion punter. Deep for that punt are John Murphy, number 11, and Mitch Leak, number 90.
The line drive type of kick, Murphy looking for it, lets it roll, and it is down at about the 18-yard line.
Scott Barnett's punt is
I'm not
down.
sure what happened there, why neither Murphy nor Sleek went after that one, Tony. Was it over their head?
Which it was, John. I don't think the wind just took it.
While we have this change of possession, we'll break quickly and be right back.
Tonight's game on CATV9 is being brought to you by the Web Atlas Company, Heating and Cooling at 694 Winkler Drive, your total comfort carrier dealer, saluting the Wooster Generals. Whitaker Myers Insurance in Wooster is dedicated to the philosophy of the best coverage and the best companies at the lowest fair price for that coverage. Call 345-5000. Underwood Lincoln Mercury Dodge, 2626 Cleveland Road, Wooster, is proud of the Wooster Generals football team. 1 Hour Cleaners in the College Hill Shopping Center is open Monday through Friday, 8 to 8, Saturday, 8 to 6, offering 1 hour service daily until 4, family owned since 1969. At Dick Kinder Realty, they support the Wooster Generals in their bid for number 1. For your real estate needs, call Dick Kinder at 264-8133. Wooster Appliance Center, 149 North Walnut Street, is this area's appliance and video specialist, and they congratulate the Wooster Generals. Retzler's True Value Hardware, 132 North Walnut Street, has a full line of hardware, and they are more than ready to meet all your Christmas needs. Hamster Shoes, the finest in family footwear, serving Wayne County for over 67 years, located in downtown Wooster. First Federal Savings and Loan has 2 offices in Wooster, 135 East Liberty and 1812 Cleveland Road. They turn houses into homes at First Federal. The Wooster Glass Company, 419 South Market Street, Wooster, specializing in auto glass plus plate glass and more. Call 262-8986, serving the area since 1947. Call on Central Rental for all your lawn and garden, construction, table, chairs, and party needs. If they don't rent it, they'll tell you where to find it. Call 263-1000.
Hi, I'm Tom Lyons, Performance Pontiac Olds GMC Trucks. Everywhere I go, it's what about those Wooster Generals? Thanks a lot, guys.
Steiner Insurance, 201 East Liberty, is proud of Wooster, especially the Wooster Generals, and wish them continued success. At Mott's Decorating, 4188 Cleveland Road, Wooster, there's no gimmicks, no giveaways, just honest savings every day of the year. Remember, Mott's Decorating, Wooster. The Coachee House has been proud to back Wooster High year in and year out and sees the Fighting Generals as the best in high school athletics. From Joe, Jeanette, Steve, and Karen, and everyone at the Coachee House, congratulations, Generals. AC Electrical and Telephone, 348 East Liberty in downtown Wooster, is the specialist in designing your next phone or electrical system. Call AC at 264-8068. Have your eye on a new car or truck? Ask your dealer for low-cost bank financing from the bank that knows you better, Wayne County National Bank, an equal opportunity lender, member FDIC. Art Bucher Buick Cadillac, 405 East Liberty in downtown Worcester has the car you've been looking for. Call them at 264-3030. Edinger's Furniture in the Heck Shopping Plaza for furniture, carpeting, and more. And right now, save 50% on sculptured carpet available in 5 colors. That's all at Edinger's Furniture. Worcester's oldest tire dealer, 300 Tire Service at the corner of South and Buckeye Streets, can winterize your car with tires and more. Call 300 at 262-6800. Clear Picture Incorporated congratulates the Wooster Generals on a fine season, both the football team and the bands. Clear Picture is proud of the Wooster area and the Wooster Generals.
Tony, cut you just a little bit short on your analysis of that play.
No, that wind just took that ball, John, and John Murphy just got away from it.
Okay, 1st and 10 for the Generals. The ball on their own 18. They'd like to get a few first downs. They give it to Birdno up the middle. Brett with a couple hard yards.
He's got a good 4 yards on that.
43 carried the ball. Greg Reed, number 63, made the tackle along with...
Let's split the difference and call it 3. 2nd and 7.
Gain of 2, it is 2nd and 8. The ball is at the 21.
Brian Finicum comes out over the ball at center. Matt McCoy at quarterback. Birdno and Lee behind him. Tony Lee can't find the handle.
It's another fumble and another touchdown.
And there's the second break of the ball game for Purcell Marion. Number 63, that's Greg Reed, goes in for the score. So very quickly, Purcell Marion breaks back on top.
That pitch back is just a little bit too far behind, and Tony outran it. The ball just got off his fingertips.
So Case to try the extra point, John Case. This is an important, well, let's see, there's an official's timeout. One of the Generals has an equipment problem down there. And of course, Tony, I guess that's the one thing that's wrong with statistics. Worcester certainly statistically in that first half just ate up Purcell Marion, but it was a tie ball game. And now even as we start the second half, Worcester's defense held Purcell Marion, and yet now they are up 13-10 with the extra point try.
Marty Mathis.
And there is the extra point. It is good. So our score is Purcell Marion 14, Wooster 10.
14, Wooster 10.
Well, Tony, in the first half, the Generals were able to come back from some adversity. They're going to have to suck it up here and get tough and go back and get another touchdown.
They certainly are. And those are the type of mistakes we just can't afford.
A field goal, of course, although it would be nice, would still put it at 14-13. So Wooster needs 7 to regain the lead. Sleek, Murphy, and Hayes will be deep for the Generals. And John Case will be kicking off, number 8. He's their quarterback and kicker. Good high kick, finally taken by Hayes. Murphy and Hayes had trouble deciding who was going to handle it. Hayes is out to the 25-yard line.
Number 44, John Hayes returns John Paul Case's kickoff to the...
So Wooster has 75 yards to go to regain the lead. And let's see if the Wooster offense is up to it. Right now, not by virtue of the defense, but just by virtue of the 2 touchdowns, Purcell Marion has scored as much as the Generals have allowed any team this year. 14 points, and that was given up in the opener to Glenville. You'll remember Ashland that beat them only had 12. Split backs. This time they give it to Lee on the counter. Lee slips one tackle and gets maybe a yard.
And he got back to the line of scrimmage, maybe a yard.
Worcester may need to throw a pass or two, even though they're in their own territory, to loosen up that Purcell Marion defense just a bit. Of course, Purcell Marion has made some adjustments at halftime.
It is 2nd and 10 Generals.
John Hayes is in. John Murphy is out. Wooster is going with double tight ends. Bo Steiner is in at the left end. Matt Smith at the right end. I-backs. McCoy pitches to Tony Lee. Tony tries to get to the outside. Nothing doing. He lost the yard.
27, Tony Lee, the ball carrier.
That's the play that Tony never found the handle on just a moment ago.
Derek Sanders, number 85.
It's going to bring up 3rd and 11.
A loss of 2. It is 3rd and 12. The ball is at the Wooster 24 yards.
And of course, one of the signs of a well-coached team is making those halftime adjustments, and it now is beginning to look like Purcell Marion did just that. Purcell Marion fans yelling defense here, realizing if the Generals cannot pick up the first down, they will get the ball back again. Here's Murphy in motion to the top of your screen. McCoy back to pass. He's got time. Now throws it in the middle. I think it was Murphy.
Right away.
But he is brought down short of the first down.
John Murphy, he was tackled by Cliff Pope, number 55.
And so here comes the punting unit for the Generals.
The ball is at the 27-yard line of Wooster.
Tony, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this will be only the second time in the game that Matt Smith will be punting. And of course, the first time was a disaster.
Deep receiver, the up man is number 22, Scott Barnett. They await the punt from number 18, Matt Smith.
This time it's a good snap. Matt Smith gets away a wobbly kick. It takes a Wooster bounce and is going to be taken. Bo Steiner. Nice tackle, Bo Steiner.
40, John Chambers returned the punt from Matt.
Also in on that tackle was number 32, which is Dan Edwards.
Number 96 made the tackle for the Generals.
Bo had good coverage.
Purcell Marion.
14-10 our score. We're in the third quarter of action with 3:44. This game is moving right along today. Wooster needing to hold Purcell Marion and get that ball back. Split backs behind Case. Long count. Gives it to his fullback, 35. That is Riley.
Tony Lee on that one, John.
Tony Lee and Lee Seifert made the tackle.
Also number 53, Andy Seifert. Andy's had some big plays in the playoffs from his defensive tackle position. Tony Lee now comes out defensively as Wooster anticipates pass. Clock is down to 3 minutes left in the quarter. 2nd and 9. Case again got split backs. Got 2 wide receivers to the top of your screen, and he drops back to pass. Looks over the middle. Incomplete. Over the head of Kennedy and Murphy.
Paul Case's pass intended for John Kennedy.
Kennedy pleading that he may have been bumped by Murphy, but there is no flag. So it brings up a 3rd and long 9 situation.
40.
Clock is stopped with 2:48 on the incompletion. Big play for the Generals, who need to stop him and get the ball back. I-backs this time behind Case. Wooster adjusting to some motion. The pitch. It is a reverse play. Brad Warner is being blocked out of the play. And they've got the first down and more. First down and more.
Ball carried by number 15, Chris Case. Brad Warner, number
That was number 15. That is Chris Case. That is a brother of the quarterback. And we have an injured General down on the field.
Got, I believe it's number 78, Mike McLean.
McLean way back in the backfield.
Ball is spotted at the Wooster 45-yard line.
So Tony, Purcell Marion was able to convert on a big 3rd down and 9 play with that reverse. .240 remaining here in the third quarter of action. And as you can see, McLean is down on the field. It is the trainer with him for the Generals. Wooster, of course, statistically, as Tony indicated you right through the half, had dominated the ball game. But because of two miscues by the Generals, they are down 14-10 with 2:40 remaining. John Hevlin and Tony Catanzarite bring you this play-by-play action. Mike McLean is able to get up and walk off under his own power. I wouldn't doubt at all that he'll be back. Okay, 1st and 10, though, for Purcell Marion. They've got the double flanker to the bottom of your screen, the left side, and I-backs behind John Case. There's motion to the top of your screen as Case rolls out to the left side, throws downfield, incomplete for Cook. Warner had the coverage. Murphy was coming up. But Cook has been kept pretty quiet so far today for the Generals.
He had 2 passes right at the beginning of the game, John. He hasn't caught anything since. And as far as we're concerned, we're hoping he doesn't catch any more.
I agree. I'm a little surprised that Purcell Marion, though, is putting it up. Although Wooster has shut down their running
game. Actually, John, the only running play that they have had any success on was that double reverse that they just ran here.
That is Kennedy in motion to the top of your screen. The pitch is to the fullback. He's a load to the outside, but number 58 on the defense.
Riley, the ball carrier.
Excuse me, 59. That's Brian Finicum. I was having trouble figuring out who 58 on the Generals was. It was 59, Brian Finicum, who rode him out after a gain of about 5.
That was at the 40-yard line, a gain of 5. It is 3rd and 5.
Rich Withrow is in there in the defensive alignment for the Generals. Again, Purcell Marion has come upon a important 3rd down and 5 play. Chris Case, 15, is flanked to the bottom of your screen. Now we've got motion to the bottom of your screen as well. And John Case is rolling. Cooper's on him, incomplete. So it brings up a 4th down.
Pass intended for John Kennedy.
Doug Snyder with good coverage, number 41 out there.
Number 41 was the defender for the Generals.
Tony, I don't know. They're in Wooster territory. Do you think they might go for it on 4th and 5?
No, they are going to. Well, at least they're sending in their punting unit, John.
That is number 22's been doing their punting. That's Scott Barnett.
He's in there.
Of course, the Generals have been stung several times throughout the year, including the playoffs, with fake punts.
Number 22, Scott Barnett, is the punter.
Barnett does get away a good kick. It is coming out of bounds. It's angling towards the goal line. Oh, it went out on about the 3.
1-yard line, 2-yard line.
On the 2 is where they're going to mark it.
Is out of bounds at the Worcester 2-yard line.
Worcester's got 98 yards to go. We've got 2:15 remaining here in the 3rd quarter of action. We're at Cooper Field in Columbus, Ohio, in the state semifinal playoff game. John Hevlin, Tony Catanzarite with all the play-by-play action. Here comes Matt McCoy along with Bo Steiner, so Wooster looks like they're going to continue to go with a double tight end situation. Brian Finicum out over the ball at the center.
And I see McLean is not in on the offensive line, John. We've got Gerber in there right now.
That's Tony Lee. Tony getting good yardage out to about the 7.
The ball was carried by Tony Lee, number 27. Holt, number 55, made the
Tony is just a couple inches away from breaking him, but this time he gets hobbling a little bit, up hobbling.
2nd and 5 following his gain of 5.
Looks like his ankle may be bothering him just a little bit. Call that a gain of 4, 2nd and 6. Murphy goes out, and Sleek comes to the top of your screen. Still the double tight end. This time split backs. Now they go to the I. They give it to Tony Lee again, up close to the 10, but it'll bring up 3rd and about 3.
Yards.
Derek Sanders and Mark Steiner made the tackle.
Tony looks like Tony Lee looking just a little bit hobbled out there.
The Worcester 9-yard line.
My guess would be that he's gone over 100 yards, but of course it doesn't mean much, I'm sure, to Tony if we can't pull out the W.
That's for sure.
Clock is down to 1 minute and 9 seconds remaining here in the 3rd quarter. John Murphy goes to the top of your screen. I'm afraid everybody's looking for the run here. And it's Tony Lee off tackle. Tony Lee, he's got the first down.
He's got it.
Good second effort.
Number 27.
He did not have it initially, but even though his ankle's bothering him, he pushed forward for the first down.
First down, Wooster.
So Wooster is out of the shadow of their own goal line. They're not out of trouble. They're only on the 13-yard line, but that was an important first down. Bo Steiner comes out. That means Wooster will go out of the double tight end. Murphy to the bottom of your screen, Sleek to the top. The give is to Birdno. Birdno breaks to the outside. He's up close to the 20-yard line. Got about 7.
Tackled by Jay Cook.
This may have been the last play. We'll have to see if Wooster can get off one more. There's 15 seconds on the clock.
Ball is at the 18-yard line.
I don't think Wooster will get off another play. John Hayes, Bo Steiner back in. It's down to 5. No, Wooster will not. So at the end of 3 quarters, our score will be Wooster 10, Cincinnati Purcell Marion 14.
Tonight's game on CATV9 is being brought to you by the Web Atlas Company, Heating and Cooling at 694 Winkler Drive, your total comfort carrier dealer, saluting the Wooster Generals. Whitaker Myers Insurance in Wooster is dedicated to the philosophy of the best coverage and the best companies at the lowest fair price for that coverage. Call 345-5000. Underwood Lincoln Mercury Dodge, 2626 Cleveland Road, Worcester, is proud of the Wooster Generals football team. 1 Hour Cleaners in the College Hill Shopping Center is open Monday through Friday, 8 to 8, Saturday, 8 to 6, offering 1 hour service daily until 4, family owned since 1969. At Dick Kinder Realty, they support the Worcester Generals in their bid for number 1. For your real estate needs, call Dick Kinder at 264-8133. Worcester Appliance Center, 149 North Walnut Street, is this area's appliance and video specialist, and they congratulate the Worcester Generals. Retzler's True Value Hardware, 132 North Walnut Street, has a full line of hardware, and they are more than ready to meet all your Christmas needs. Amster Shoes, the finest in family footwear, serving Wayne County for over 67 years, located in downtown Worcester. First Federal Savings and Loan has 2 offices in Worcester, 135 East Liberty and 1812 Cleveland Road. They turn houses into homes at First Federal. The Worcester Glass Company, 419 South Market Street, Worcester, specializing in auto glass plus plate glass and more. Call 262-8986, serving the area since 1947. Call on Central Rental for all your lawn and garden, construction, table, chairs, and party needs. If they don't rent it, they'll tell you where to find it. Call 263-1000.
Hi, I'm Tom Lyons, Performance Pontiac Olds GMC Trucks. Everywhere I go, it's what about those Wooster Generals? Thanks a lot, guys.
Steiner Insurance, 201 East Liberty, is proud of Worcester, especially the Worcester Generals, and wish them continued success. At Mott's Decorating, 4188 Cleveland Road, Worcester, there's no gimmicks, no giveaways, just honest savings every day of the year. Remember, Mott's Decorating, Worcester. The Coachee House has been proud to back Wooster High year in and year out and sees the Fighting Generals as the best in high school athletics. From Joe, Jeanette, Steve, and Karen, and everyone at the Coachee House, congratulations, Generals. AC Electrical and Telephone, 348 East Liberty in downtown Wooster, is the specialist in designing your next phone or electrical system. Call AC at 264-8068. Have your eye on a new car or truck? Ask your dealer for low-cost bank financing from the bank that knows you better, Wayne County National Bank, an equal opportunity lender, member FDIC. Art Bucher Buick Cadillac, 405 East Liberty in downtown Worcester, has the car you've been looking for. Call them at 264-3030. Ettinger's Furniture in the Heck Shopping Plaza for furniture, carpeting, and more. And right now, save 50% on sculptured carpet, available in 5 colors. That's all at Ettinger's Furniture. Worcester's oldest tire dealer, 300 Tire Service at the corner of South and Buckeye Streets, can winterize your car with tires and more. Call 300 at 262-6800. Clear Picture Incorporated congratulates the Wooster Generals on a fine season, both the football team and the bands. Clear Picture is proud of the Wooster area and the Wooster Generals.
Tony, as you indicated, Mike McLean has not been able to get back into the ball game. We've got a sophomore in there, number 74, Drew Gerber. And I don't think that Drew, with the exception of maybe some final plays of the regular season and perhaps maybe in the Steubenville playoff game, has seen much varsity action at all this year.
No, he hasn't, but I watched him very carefully on that last play that Bertno broke off, and he had pushed his man out of there.
Well, we're certainly hoping that he can become experienced in a hurry, although we certainly hope that Mike McLean can get back in the ball game.
Mike looks like he's working on his ankle over there, and he seems like he's about getting ready to come back in if he has a chance.
Okay, we've got 12 more minutes of football. Wooster with the ball on a 2nd and 4. McCoy waiting for the officials to indicate they can play. McCoy tried to keep it, and he is nailed in the backfield, down back by the 5-yard line.
Matt McCoy, tackled by Cliff Pope.
I would assume that that was going to be maybe a screen pass play, but the blitz by Purcell Marion broke it up and put Wooster in a big bad hole. 3rd and 12.
Ball is at the 10-yard line. Wooster has 3rd and 12.
Wooster's very fortunate again. The officials gave him a pretty good spot. They dragged Matt back inside the 5, but they give him the progress back to the 10. 3rd and 12. It was Bertno up to the 15.
Fullback Brett Bertno carried the ball.
But it will force the Generals to punt. And Purcell Marion should come up with pretty good field position on this punt.
Greg Reed made the tackle. Ball is at the 16-yard line.
Matt Totten, who has a thigh bruise and who is not going defensively, is the snapper on both field goals, extra points, and punts, and he is on to do the snapping right now. Matt Smith will be back close to his own goal line.
Matt Smith, number 18, is the Wooster punter. The deep receiver is John Chambers, number 40.
Totten gets off a good snap. Matt Smith, a high, long kick. And it takes a Wooster bounce out to the 40, going to be close to the 45. 45-yard line. There it is down. So it's going to be up to the nasty defense to hold here.
Purcell Marion take over first and down at that point.
Worcester's nasty defense has not given up more than 14 points. John Case, he's got split backs. He's got Kennedy and Riley behind him. He gives it to the big man, Riley. Nothing doing up the middle. There's Seifert, 53, 60, Doug Glasgow also in on the tackle.
60, Doug Glasgow, number 53, Andy Seifert on the tackle for the Generals.
Here comes Rich Withrow in defensively for the Generals. Let's see who he replaces, Tony Lee. Riley and Kennedy, again the split backs behind Case.
Second and 8.
Man in motion to the top of your screen this time. Case on a keeper. It's a reverse play. It's the big man, Cook, and he's brought down by number 18, Matt Smith.
Jeff Cook, number 82, the ball carrier. Matt Smith, number 8.
A well-conceived play, Tony. But Matt Smith from his outside linebacker position, staying home. As Tony Lee comes back into the ball game, he ran on real well. It looks like maybe that ankle is just not too bad at this point. Clock is down to 9 minutes. It will become a factor shortly in this ball game. Wooster needs to get it back. It's 3rd and 7. This is a big defensive play for the Generals. And Cook throws over the middle, complete to the big tight end, Case to Cook rather, and he's got the first in.
That is strictly a timing play, John.
Pass is complete to Jay Cook, number 82. Doug Snyder, number 41.
He couldn't have caught a bigger one in this half to keep their drive alive.
21, the tacklers for the Generals.
Coach Gary Green signaling in his defensive calls for the Generals. Clock's at 8:35, 1st and 10 for Purcell Marion. Split backs again behind Case. There's a quick pitch to Kennedy on the outside. And he's knocked down out there.
John Kennedy, number 44, carried the ball. John Kennedy, number 11, made John Murphy, number
John Murphy with a stop, but he got about 8 yards. Sweeping to the right side.
The ball is at the 16-yard line.
It is going to be second and 2 yards. That ball is on the 16-yard line. This is the deepest penetration by Purcell Marion's offense today. Case gives it to Kennedy up the middle. He's inside the 10.
He's down to about the 8.
It's Glasgow on the tackle for the Generals.
Matt Smith and Doug Glasgow.
Here comes Rich Withrow back into the lineup. Worcester can ill afford to give up a score here. They're going to have to get tough and hope that they can hold it to a field goal. First and goal for the Purcell Marion team. There's motion to the bottom of your screen. The pitch is to Kennedy to the outside, looking for running room. He's going towards the corner of the end zone. Knocked out on about the 1.
John Kennedy, number 44, carried the ball. Knocked out of bounds by number 90, Mitch Sleek.
They are just inches shy of the goal line.
Purcell Marion has a second and goal to go.
One of the Generals limping off the field. I think that may be McLean.
Yes,
it is.
McLean going out.
Second and goal. Case, let's see if he calls his own number. They give it to the big fullback, Riley. There is no signal. Wooster has held.
Number 35, George Riley carries.
Riley goes 235 pounds, but the Generals stuffed him that time.
Tony Lee.
Lee and Glasgow, the inside linebackers, with the stop. Also, Andy Seifert, the defensive tackle.
The Cavaliers have third and goal to go.
Third and goal. This could be a big play because if the Generals could hold, perhaps the Purcell Marion would go for the field goal. Again, motion. Case himself. Yes, he got it. Case on the quarterback sneak. 20-10 with the extra point try yet to come. And of course the Purcell Marion fans are very excited about that score with 6:27 remaining here in the ball game. Case will be trying the extra point, which would make it 21-10. Wooster would need 2 touchdowns. And it is good. 21-10.
score. Cincinnati, Purcell, Marion.
So with 6:27, the Generals really have their work cut out. We'll be right back with the kickoff. Certainly this is what the Generals are going to have to do on this possession.
Well, they're going to need it now, John. They've got 6.5 minutes to get 2 scores, and they're going to need 2 touchdowns.
It is John Case who will kick off for Cincinnati, Purcell Marion. And he gets a good foot into it. It's going out of the end zone. Boy, he got all of that one. So Wooster will take over on their own 20-yard line, 80 yards away from a score. And of course, if the Generals feel they've got to put it up, Purcell Marion knows that as well. They will be soft, I would think, in the secondary, and possibly going for the interception. Mistakes have really hurt the Generals. They've given up 2 easy scores.
2 big mistakes.
I-backs. McCoy going back to pass, throws out in the flat to Birdno. He holds on, but a very little gain.
Very little, 1 yard.
Brett had double coverage. He juggled the ball, but did pull it in for the catch. And the catch, or the gain rather, is just about a yard.
Guy Baratieri, number 52, gave an assist on that play for the Cavaliers.
Clock is running. It is now dropping below 6 minutes. Wooster down 21 to 10.
22. It is 2nd and 8. General.
Second down, 9 yards. Murphy to the bottom of your screen. John Hayes to the top. I-backs behind Matt McCoy. McCoy gives it to Birdno, and he didn't get much on that play. Wooster apparently hoping that Purcell Marion would be looking for the pass and open up the middle, but they closed it down quickly. Third down now and about 7. Give Birdno 2 on that carry. Here comes Mitch Sleek in with the play. Matt Smith been a favorite target from that tight end position. Let's see what kind of coverage he draws. McCoy on a keeper, and he's short. He's out to the 25. He got only a yard.
He's going to give a 4th down and 5.
And when you're down 2 touchdowns, Tony, with only 4:55, I think you got to go for it.
25-yard line. General pass 4th and 5 from that point.
4th down, 5 yards. Here comes John Hayes on with the play. Worcester's got to pull something out of their bag of tricks on this one. 21 to 10, they are down. Let's see, we've got Murphy to the top of your screen, Hayes to the bottom, I-backs behind McCoy. McCoy looking, finally throws, incomplete. It was between Smith and Murphy. And I would say that that might have been the last hurrah for the Generals right there. Clock is stopped with 4:21 on the incompletion.
Purcell Marion takes over on down, 1st and 10 from the Wooster 25.
Wooster will have to be tackling the ball. They've got to get it back if they're to have any kind of a chance. Case, who's got Kennedy and Riley split backs behind him. Long count, they give it to Riley, the fullback. Gets good yardage, he's still on his feet. Finally dragged down around the 16-yard line. He's a real load to bring down at 235. Rich Withrow, number 63, with the tackle. Wooster may be guilty, too, of trying to pull that ball loose rather than tackle the ball carrier. Purcell Marion out of the huddle rather quickly. Again, the split backs behind Case. There's motion to the bottom of your screen. And the give again is to Riley, the big fullback, and he doesn't get much that time. But again, the clock keeps running. It's down to 3:30.
Tackle was made by Doug Glasgow. Rich Winthrop.
He is shy by a yard, so it's a 3rd and a foot.
3rd and 1, Cavaliers.
Let's see if Case keeps it himself. He went in for the score on a keeper. No, he gives it to Riley again, and the big back has got the first down.
35, George Riley, caring for the Purcell Marion.
Well, it's under 3 minutes. It's down to 2:58.
Glasgow, Andy Cypher, made the tackle for the Generals. That is at the 13
This is John Hevlin, Tony Catanzarite. We are at Cooper Stadium in Columbus, Ohio. This is the state semifinal game. North Canton Hoover playing Willoughby South to see who gets the other berth in the final game. Case with a long count. Gives it this time to Kennedy, and he is really nailed.
Kennedy, number 44, the ball carrier.
2:27. Clock will continue to run. Now time is called by the Generals.
Tony Lee and Brian Finnegan made the tackle.
Coach Gary Green out on the field.
Timeout, Wooster.
Tony, I don't think we're being prophets of doom to say it would take a miracle for the Generals to pull this one out.
The Ohio High School Athletic Association and the administrators of both Cincinnati, Purcell, Marion, and Wooster High School ask your cooperation at the conclusion of this football game to guarantee the safety of the players.
Certainly true. Statistically, I think it's going to show that Wooster played a fine football game today, but of course on the scoreboard it's going to indicate that they came up short. Coach Green still out there with his team. I'm sure one of the things he has to be mentioning is that certainly on Wooster's players' part there's got to be a little frustration not to take any cheap shots, to play as proud as this team should be of how far they have come up until today. The only blemish on their record, a 12-7 defeat to the Ashland Arrows. It really hurt, that particular loss, because it cost the Generals a 5th Cardinal Conference championship. But certainly they have done themselves proud here in the playoffs. 2:24 on the clock. It is a 1st and 10 situation. Case giving to Kennedy up the middle. He's got a score. He's in for a score. 27-10 now. John Kennedy goes in, and that put it away for sure. There is an injured player out on the field. It is a General who is injured in the end zone. Looks like 41. That would be Snyder, Doug Snyder. (27-10) with the extra point try yet to come with 2:19 on the clock. Doug Snyder coming off under his own power. That's TD kind of frosting on the cake for the Cavaliers. Here is the extra point try yet to come. It is John Case, their quarterback. High snap, but the boot is up, and it is no good. It is off to the left. So our score remains 27-10. But Wooster is down by 17 points. It would take 2 touchdowns and a field goal to tie it or to win it. Of course, Wooster would probably go for 2-point conversions. But Wooster needs 3 scores in 2 minutes and 19 seconds. Bo Steiner, number 96, the captain of the specialty teams, asking for one more player. He's 1 shy as Wooster gets ready to receive. We've got Murphy, Sleek, and Hayes going deep.
Murphy 11, Mitch Sleek number 90, await the kickoff from John Paul Case.
Evans kicked off, or excuse me, Case kicked off last time and put it out of the end zone. He does have a strong leg, Tony.
He certainly does.
And
he is all the ball player that we've heard he was, John.
Yes, he is. He certainly will be a candidate to go to Division I school. There's the whistle. Here's the kick, and again, he got all of that one. Murphy takes it in the end zone. He's going to come out.
He can't come out. Not in high school.
That's right.
The Wooster end zone for an automatic touchback. The Generals will
So with 2:17 left on the clock, the Generals are going to have to play for a little pride and see if perhaps they can move the ball down the field for a score. I know I speak for Tony and myself in saying how very proud we are of the team and of the coaching staff and for the Wooster people who have certainly supported this team as it has moved along into the playoffs this year. There's a draw play and a fumble. That one is picked up, and there's a flag down. McCoy can't make the tackle, and there's a touchdown. There is a flag. We'll have to wait and see.
Steiner, score is Cavaliers 34, Generals 10.
The flag apparently going against the Generals.
There is no flag, John.
And the floodgates have really opened here. 2:09 on the clock, 33 to 10. And I guess the only thing that you can say, if you're a Wooster fan, is that the score is in no way indicative of the way this ball game really went.
No, John, the 3 scores now are Wooster mistakes. A 4th score came when Wooster had to take a chance on their own 25 and didn't make it.
Worcester blocks the extra point attempt. It is Andy Seifert came right through the middle. Worcester still playing with pride with 2:09.
Worcester 10.
And Tony, of course, I never got that far in high school. They didn't even have playoffs, but I know the Generals are hurting, and yet again, I'd like to congratulate each and every one of them, along with Coach McFarland and the assistant coaches. They have had a fantastic season, and they have to be awfully proud to have come this far. Worcester will receive. Again, they will get an opportunity to see if we can put some points on the board.
On the deep receivers, John Paul Case will be kicking off.
To the seniors on the Worcester squad, it is their last game, but for the juniors and sophomores, this is something that can leave a very positive influence on their minds. The way the Generals were able to come so far. And again, it's taken in the end zone. Worcester will have to accept the ball on the 20.
John Paul Case's kickoff enters Worcester's end zone. Generals will again scrimmage from their own 20-yard line, 1st and 10.
By the way, on that last fumble, which resulted in a score, I would have to say that the handoff was never there. It was not the result of some contact, that fumble. It was just a miscue on the handoff. Worcester, of course, has given up almost, well, over twice the number of points they've given up in any other game this year. The most scored up until today was 14. A lot of touchdowns today for Purcell Marion as a result of miscues. There's a pass for Murphy. Can't bring it down. Good coverage out there by number 48.
John Murphy. Broken up by Ismail Gilliam. 2nd and 10 Generals from their own 20-yard line.
Incomplete, stops the clock with 2:03 remaining here in the game. 2nd and 10. Tony Lee coming out of the ball game now. Somewhat of a surprise.
Well, I believe what he's going to do is going to play a senior in there for his last shot, and I believe that is number 32.
would be Dan Edwards.
Edwards. And Dan's going to get his chance to carry a ball for the last time.
They do give the ball to Dan Edwards. Minute and 50, our score 33-10. Worcester staying right with Purcell Marion in the first half. They went in tied at 7-7 in the third quarter. Worcester taking the lead 10-7, but giving up another touchdown on a miscue, and it's been all Purcell Marion in the fourth quarter with 19 unanswered points. There's Birdno with the ball.
No.
Close to the 30.
That's him. Birdno.
Clock at a minute and 16. Worcester not even trying to throw the bombs, just kind of running the ball down the field. Fourth down now, and inches to go for a first down. John Hayes comes on with the play. Dan Edwards has stayed in at the tailback position. And McCoy has to keep it. Edwards fell down. He was to be the ball carrier. Should be enough for the first down.
And he's got a first down on it, John.
Down to 45 seconds. Clock is momentarily stopped while they move the chains. Worcester's got time for maybe 2 or 3 plays if they hurry.
Ladies and gentlemen, a final reminder, at the conclusion of the game, please remain off of the playing field. Thank you.
Tony, we need to send our congratulations to Cincinnati Marion Purcell, and would wish them the best next week. Of course, it always makes you feel a little bit better if the team that defeats you goes on to win the state championship. McCoy is back to pass. He's looking. He's throwing it for Sleek. It looks like it could be intercepted. It is intercepted. Still on his feet, number 40. Down the sideline. Finnegan after him. There's a
and we've got a flag down. We've got 2 of them down. And I think what you're going to do is you're going to get an illegal block on Purcell.
There is a clip call, at least for one of the flags. The clock is stopped with 8 seconds. It's all academic. Our congratulations again to Cincinnati Purcell Marion. They took advantage of some of the breaks that bounced their way today and have parlayed it into a 33-10 victory. But again, we're awfully proud of each and every Wooster General. They have played their hearts out today. It was just not to be as they talk with Doug Glasgow on the penalty. And they will march off the yardage against Purcell Marion. But there will be one last play and the game will be over.
And I just look for Case just to drop with the ball, John.
Purcell Marion violation, 15 yards, clipping. The ball is spotted at the 36-yard line.
Worcester, that was 9-1 in regular season, went on in the regionals to win the regionals by virtue of wins over Steubenville and Mifflin, have come to the end of the trail, and they do not even
that
get
is
off
the end of the ball
play.
game.
So again, our final today is Cincinnati Purcell Marion 33, our own Worcester Generals 10. Tony, any wrap-up comments you'd like to make?
Well, John, I'll make one. We said before the game that Worcester would have to be almost there-free to beat this team. It was a very good ball team that they played. They made 3 mistakes, or 2 mistakes anyway, and that's what cost them the ball game. Rather than worry about what cost them the ball game, though, at this point right now, I'd like to talk about the accomplishments that they did. If we have enough tape, I don't really know how much tape we have, but what they've done this year, we have not had.
The official declared that ends the end of the football game. The final score, Cincinnati Purcell.
We had an interruption there where they thought we might have to play another down, but they didn't. But I think the accomplishments that this team have done this year far surpasses anything that might have gone wrong today. They've done something to their school, to their fellow classmates, their peers, that I don't think any other team has done. And this, I think, is what we should be very proud of, not only us, but the entire community. They've had everybody pulling together. This is something I haven't seen Worcester do in the 22 years I've lived there. They've had people that hadn't talked to each other for years find something in common and talk. myself personally, I love every one of them. I'd be more than proud to call each and every one of them my son, if not by blood, at least by association. And I want to thank them for letting us be a part of their team this year.
I would second that, Tony, for myself, and for you, for our camera gal, Cindy Glasgow, Mark Glasgow. We just want to thank all of you for joining us. And again, we just want to say how very proud we are of the blue and gold. Thank you, and good afternoon.
CATV 9 Sports presents high school playoff football.